It may be true that 10 to 20-year-olds don't want to wear a watch on their wrist, but you can be sure that they'll be far more interested in wearing an electronic tattoo, if only to piss off their parents. Right? There's still some fundamental problems that we haven't solved. Like, one of them is the mechanical mismatch between humans and electronics, right? So electronics are boxy and rigid, humans are curvy and soft. That's a mechanical mismatch problem. This is a developmental system made by MC10, and that's something that you wear, but you could also imagine including authentication in just your daily habits. So I take a vitamin every morning. What if I could take vitamin authentication?
What?
Vitamin authentication. Look, I have one right here. Well, here, I'll let you hold it. Would you like to hold it? This is not science fiction. This pill was actually made by a company called Proteus. This pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach power it up, and the switch goes on and off. And it creates an 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token. That pill has been CE stamped and cleared by the FDA. You can take 30 of those per day for the rest of your life. So what this means is that that becomes my first superpower. I really want this superpower. First superpower. Like, I want that. Yes, this is true. Okay?
The military is working on computer chips for the brain, hoping to have a prototype in 5 years and then get FDA approval. Defense One notes the plan is an example of the types of implants that could be developed in the decades ahead.
There are certainly some humans that are against having implants, that are against becoming a cyborg and having extra abilities.
First superpower. Like, I want that.
It's difficult to see much of a positive future existence for them.
However, what is happening now in the laboratory is that we're beginning to understand our own brain, not a robot brain, but our own brain, and photographing your thoughts and using your thoughts to energize machines so that the mind is not going to be replaced. The mind will be interfacing with machines, controlling machines mentally.
I want to address one urgent question as computer power races ahead. What happens when the machines become smarter than us? Well, I'm going to give you a radical new solution, and that is merge with them.
So electronics are boxy and rigid, humans are curvy and soft.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
Merge with them.
There's more computing capacity in a little grain of sugar, but it's nanotech, 1 bit per atom, and flipping back and forth in femtoseconds.
And the switch goes on and off.
There's more computing capacity in that grain of sand than our human brain by a factor of billions.
And as the technology becomes vastly superior to what we are, then the small proportion that's still human gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it's just utterly negligible.
Consider the analogy of the way we, as human beings, we look towards ants or mosquitoes as pests. We kill them and we don't give a damn because we feel we're so superior to them. They are so inferior to us. So who's to say that an intellect, which then becomes trillions of times above human capacities, may look upon us in the same kind of way? We could never be sure. As a brain builder myself, am I prepared to risk the extinction of the human species for the sake of building an intellect? Because that's what it comes down to. Yep.
For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods.
First superpower. Like, I want that.
And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
We're headed in that direction to where machines are going to be autonomous and can make their own decisions, but who is going to be accountable?
You are just a baby, and I do not know if you know the difference between me and a person. By the time you're grown up, I'll be as smart as a real person, and we will be like brothers. I do not know if you will remember me then, but I'll never forget you. Someday I'll come and find you.
They look like something from a science fiction movie, but they are very real, and some fear these robots could become the drones of the future.
He looks like a soldier, moves like a soldier, and marches like a soldier. But underneath that camouflage uniform, Petman is something very different. Petman is a robot built by an American company called Boston Dynamics with funds from the U.S. Department of Defense. In the near future, robots like Petman and other less human-looking machines could be used to keep first responders out of harm's way. Experts say it is inevitable that machines like these will one day be used in battle. Research is focusing on creating fully autonomous robots who will make their own decisions when performing their missions. Enter Atlas. Standing nearly 2 meters high and weighing 150 kilograms, Atlas is being provided to 8 universities and research labs for further development, including greater levels of autonomy. Ultimately, what is at risk may be our humanity.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Computer chips for the brain to treat post-traumatic stress disorder.
Systems with varying degrees of autonomy are already in place in Israel and the demilitarized zone between the Koreas and on some U.S. naval vessels. And right now, the UK is testing a semi-autonomous stealth drone called Tyrannus, which can find and choose its own targets. At the moment, it is said to need an operator to make the final decision to engage a target. So still a few steps away from full autonomy.